Yo, it's your boy Tribe. It's Nick, aka Kiki Don. Peace. What's going on? How was your NFL Sunday?
I mean, it was a it was all right. Like, okay, so first of all, we got to talk about your team, the Giants. Okay, I mean, I feel like
Best way
the
to start
Jets.
this week 10 recap. All right.
If it feels like for any of you that are old enough to remember, it feels like uh, Dayball was trying to get Jackson Dart killed, and I was just waiting for like that Super Nintendo Madden moment where like the ambulance comes out and
Oh, just
and
boop.
fixes
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like
Oh
it,
my god.
but yes, as a 35% Jackson Dart owner, it could have gone better.
I feel like I feel you, right? But he still got the even with him getting knocked out, he got there. What really pissed me off was Darius Slate
Yeah.
because he's sitting there like 3 catches for 83 yards or whatever, and we're like, all right, cool, we got something. And then Dart goes out, Russ comes in, and the offense just dies on the spot. It was tragic, man.
It
Although
was
it's if Dart doesn't get injured and finishes that game, do you think Dayball gets fired?
no.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a matter of time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
but like I think he survives another week
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I think maybe they win.
Right, right, right. The loss and like that being what was it, the third loss when they've had like 90 plus winning percentage, like odds of winning
Well,
or whatever, like at that point in the fourth. Yeah.
and I think I really do think that like regardless of what happened in the game, I don't think he would have gotten fired if the franchise quarterback hadn't gotten hurt.
Yes.
So yeah.
But another year of pain for us Giants fans.
Yeah, speaking of pain, so we need to talk about how like not all the chalk, but like all the chalk that seemed really shaky hit.
I mean, listen, let's talk about it. So we got the contest analyzer pulled up. This is one of the tools over at paydirtdfs.com. Make sure you check us out. Tons of different models and all the research uh, goodies you could possibly want. So we have here the contest analyzer. I have pulled up the 555 milli from this past Sunday, and I have it sorted right now to exposure overall. So this is just the highest known players, just overall by the field. Um, so just looking at some of this shaky chalk, right? I mean, Zay Flowers came in at 25%. That was one of those guys where we were like, Jawan Jennings at 24% is interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, you got Travion Henderson came in at 19%, Hunter Henry at 18%, Tez Johnson 17.
that was the one. That was the one where it's like, I get it, I get why, but like, I mean, what is he like? If you're being generous, he's the second option on offense. I get that he's
Yeah,
4,500, but there's a lot of guys down there, like, and around that range was just like, man, it was like and that's kind of been like the story of my season. Like, really, that's the guy that catches 2 touchdowns. Like that.
I
That's
mean,
the dude.
listen, I'm gonna be kind of sorry because I played him, but like I played him as part of a like mini stack. So I had him and Diggs in one lineup, and I had him and Travion Henderson in another lineup. Like if I'm not like, there was no point where I was playing him as a true one off.
Okay.
Um, but I get, yeah, you had Darius Slayton down there, you had Parker Washington down there. There were some guys in that same range,
Rash-
for sure.
Rashad Bateman was a guy I really liked.
From Baltimore, yeah.
Baltimore. Like, I thought he was a pretty sharp play.
I mean, I don't know what to do with Baltimore, man.
It's just he's the guy opposite Zay Flowers. Like, he doesn't get a lot of targets, but more often than not, like, they're high value targets when he does get them.
Yes,
like,
he's basically Mark Andrews at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, and that was kind of my theory, is like that was a move to play like Bateman or somebody like that.
Yeah, like when they get into the goal line, and if they're not giving it to Henry, they go play action or they have Lamar roll out. A lot of times he is thrown to one of those big bodies, whether it's Mark Andrews or Rashad Bateman, and then zone off of the play action. So,
what was Lamar's ownership? What was Lamar's ownership in the 555?
Let's check. So, let's go ahead and sort this by specific position. Let's look at QBs. He came in as the highest owned quarterback in the 555 at 12%. You will see in the top 1% of lineups, he was nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Which I will take as I've been adamant, like, team don't pay up at quarterback, so I'll take that as a win.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, it was like, team don't pay up at quarterback, but it's also like, you really think they're going to let him run?
No.
Like this, like either they are absolutely trying to keep him healthy because they're trying to make a long shot playoff push, or they're playing for next year. But either circumstance, whatever ends up happening is they can't let him get hurt again.
Yeah, they're going to be super conservative with him.
Harbaugh cannot let him get hurt again. Yeah. Like, so it just happened to Brian Daboll.
Yep.
Like, so. I mean, I get it.
And then you look at the division, right? Cincinnati is a dumpster fire. The Browns are a dumpster fire. Pittsburgh looks like frauds after playing like actual good teams. So, there's a 0% chance Baltimore still wins the division.
Hey, disrespect my buddy Joe Flacco at your peril.
Oh no, the offense is great. Just the defense is good. They're going to score 35 and give up 42. So
they're bad. Yeah, they are. Their defense is bad.
Oh man. But speaking of paying up at quarterback, we actually saw that was the most popular thing from an ownership standpoint, which is interesting because we didn't have a lot of real value on the slate. But you see Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen both were the top two highest owned quarterbacks, and they were the only two that came in with double-digit ownership, which is interesting. But again,
how much of that do we think is a function of Josh Allen playing Miami and Miami being so awful defensively?
I think it's a function of that. I think it's also a function of people just wanting to play them. Like, Baltimore and the Bills have been on all of these primetime slates, and it really hasn't been often that we've even been able to play them on a Sunday main slate. So I think those two things combined, and the fact, like, they were the highest priced quarterbacks, but let's be clear, like, they were still, like, relatively underpriced for what their actual ceiling is.
Yeah. So yeah, and we don't need to talk about how stupid the pricing has gotten.
Yeah. But sorting this by top 1% in terms of quarterbacks, right? All right, Mac Jones in 21% of top 1% of lineups. Well, I'll be damned. Jared Goff, Brisket, Baker, just over 6K at 62. So again, you see Davis Mills down there at 5%. So again, the cheap quarterbacks, Jackson Dart, makes an appearance there. So you really don't need to go above 6,500. Really don't need to go above 6K, to be honest. But if you do, you definitely don't need to be paying up. Josh Allen pops up there, but like it's Josh Allen, so like whatever, it is what it
And
is.
I think the other point to make too is like, and I don't even know if anybody is still thinking this way, but if anybody is thinking this way, like quarterback is just an extension of the receivers.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing. Like if the receivers do well, the quarterback is probably going to do like at least reasonably well. So like,
Right.
it's like, you know, thinking about quarterback as a separate spot and being like, okay, I want to play Josh Allen or whatever. It's like, all right.
Right. So I mean, on that same token, let's go ahead and take a look at receiver.
Yeah.
And sure enough, Jawan Jennings paired with Mac Jones, right, shows up in 45% of the top 1% of lineups.
Mm-hmm.
Igbuka with Baker Mayfield, Jamison Williams with Jared Goff, Tez Johnson with Baker Mayfield, Amon-Ra St. Brown with Goff. 2 one-offs basically that you see is Jackson Smith and Jigba, because he's going to get in jiggy with it regardless. You don't have to play Sam Darnold. He's just that guy. Parker Washington, same thing. This was kind of that value one-off that a lot of people were going to, especially once we got news that Brian Thomas Jr. was going to be out. Travis Hunter was already out. Jacoby Myers just got to Jacksonville. Very likely does not know the offense enough to like really like be a threat to take targets away from Parker Washington.
He's also a scam. I will not be fooled. I will not be fooled to playing Jacoby Myers again.
Oh man, that's funny. But
DFS Deep State, I see you.
But to your point about like the chalk, right? Like look at the overall, like Jawan Jennings was chalk, Igbuka was like all of these guys, until you get to like Parker Washington, like these top guys all came in at double digit ownership. Go exposure overall, right? And Jigba and Jawan Jennings were 2 of the top 5 highest owned receivers on the slate in this contest, right? And this probably directionally probably going to hold true regardless of which contest you were in. And they show up in, top 1% of lineups as well. So,
yeah, I mean, I didn't have like a huge problem playing Jennings at all. And I guess that's probably why he ended up higher owned.
That one is like, interesting. He was not on my radar like whatsoever. I guess just as a function of like there's like who the hell else are they going to throw to?
Yeah, and that was kind of the point. It's like who the hell else are they going to throw to? Like they're in a script, but they're probably going to be behind.
Yeah,
like I don't know. I guess he ended up higher owned for a reason. That just seemed like a much better play to me than Tez Johnson against New England.
Which, I mean, to be fair, he did come in higher owned than Tez Johnson.
Yeah. And that's why.
Was higher. Yeah. So, no, I get it. That's definitely one I'll take back. Like, I probably just overlooked. It's funny because I even said it on the stream of like these NFC West teams, like regardless of how the season is going for these teams, when they play each other, they're like the anti NFC North or AFC North, right? Like they put up points. They're gonna score, right?
Yeah. Now, here's the other question, and I mean we can't answer it, but I mean it's just some viewers to reflect on. Is like, it's just interesting to wonder if more folks played Jawan Jennings because. And we'll get to running backs because maybe they didn't play Christian McCaffrey.
It's a good segue.
So I'm curious what his ownership is.
So he came in, still high owned, but not the highest. Like Rico Dowdle came in at 51%. And as you can see, like the move, James will like love this victory lap, right? The move was fading Rico Dowdle. Right. He still showed up in 20% of the top 1% of lineups. So you absolutely still could have had a great day playing him.
Yeah.
but clearly being underweight on him or just outright fading him was the move. Conversely, Devon Achane, 35% overall. He was the second highest on running back, 82% in the top 1% line. It essentially came down to if you didn't play Achane, you were not banking anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And that is probably my one regret from the slate is that I went like 50% Achan and 35% James Cook. And I wish I had done less James Cook.
mm-hmm.
That's one of my only regrets.
Yeah.
So, but especially when it came down closer to lock and it looked like their ownership was going to be closer, at least in larger field. Like I really should have made that adjustment.
Yep. So James Cook ended up coming in down here at 16%. Judkins, I don't know. Like I get it. He's had some good games. He's getting the volume, but man, their offense is just so bad and inefficient.
Yeah. I
like
would
so
I would have rather
that
played
was
Henderson.
Yes, and to that, so this is why I ended up on Travion Henderson because it goes back to like what I say like damn near every week, right? Cheapest running back who projects for 15 fantasy points. It's Travion Henderson. That's who it was this week. You know, and I said I don't think it's a 3 running back week. And you know, you see Achane, McCaffrey up here. I feel like a lot. I mean, we can actually take a look at the lineups themselves.
Sorry, we had like an EBS alert here in LA, and it's like, yeah, this is just a test. It's like everything was going off.
I mean, so we look at a few of these lineups. I mean, I guess you still get if you went Devon Achane and Jahmyr Gibbs, like that makes sense. But you see a lot of
I had a
Trey
hard
McBride.
time with Gibbs.
You see a lot of Trey McBride in the flex here. We talked about that on the Bakery with Jason Wright. Trey McBride, 2 tight end week with one of these cheap tight ends. Sure enough, Cade Otton, he was 3K. If you're doing 2 tight end, you are playing a value tight end. For the love of God, people, you are not playing Cade Otton plus Dalton Schultz. Don't do it to yourself.
That was now our fearless leader, I believe, said that you should play Trey McBride and somebody.
That's true. But you know, I'll take
so my point is that was a valid approach. Trey McBride is a receiver.
Yeah. You're comparing
him not a tight end.
You're comparing him to receivers and running backs in the flex. Yes. You're not comparing him to the other tight ends. Yeah, for sure. But you actually do see quite a bit of running back in the flex here, right? Kyron Williams, Travion Henderson, Jahmyr Gibbs, mostly Kyron Williams. What that afternoon game exposure to the Rams offense, that makes sense, right? If you weren't paying up for Puka, I get that. So coming, whoa. Big ballin' is Mojave. Yeah, the Gibbs obviously 47% in the top 1% because he went absolutely nuclear, but only 9% overall. So if you didn't land on Gibbs, this is one of those plays like he smashed absolutely.
Yeah.
But even especially looking at this contest, like this contest is full of a bunch of pros, and he showed up. He came in 9% overall on the field. Don't beat yourself up or start, trying to dig in. Oh, what did I miss? There had to be something that would have put me on. Like, no. You assessed it right. If you didn't land on him, just is what it like. He's a guy with a ceiling, and guys with ceilings sometimes are going to have ceiling games, and it is what it is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, likewise, Christian McCaffrey. Like, how often is it going to be that Christian McCaffrey is the guy that kills us?
Not real often.
So, hopping over to lastly the tight end.
Dear old tight end.
Trey McBride. Hunter Henry. Good. Why? So I didn't mind him if he was going to be, if the ownership was flat. Like if he came in this range down here, right?
Yeah,
This between 5 and 9, sure. 18%.
yeah. I,
When Dalton Schultz is sitting right there, Juwan
I,
Johnson was sitting right
yeah.
there, Kate Otten was sitting like, why would I play 18.5% Hunter Henry?
Look, I mean, first of all, I did, I didn't understand him, and just going back, I didn't understand Diggs.
So
I
the
get
reason for
Kayshawn, I get Kayshawn Booty is out, but like he doesn't
so
really help either of those guys.
no,
Like his
so
routes are different.
Jason, yeah. So about the routes. So Jason talked about it on Thursday's show. The way, like it was with Tampa Bay's defense, is the routes that Henry and Diggs run are the routes that have a higher success rate versus Tampa Bay's defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
I listened to that. I didn't understand like the ownership levels. I
so
understood
like
the
that's why I
logic of the
ended up.
play.
And then for me, for Diggs, like it was a pivot. Like I said, I played him in Travion also as like a pivot off of Henry.
Yeah, okay.
But and then like I just didn't love that range of receiver this
Yeah,
week where Diggs was like that mid 5K range. I was like,
yeah,
I don't think he's better or worse than anyone else in this spot.
yeah,
I would play Diggs 100 times out of 100 times over chalk Zay
yeah,
Flowers. I don't care.
yeah. I mean, don't listen to me. Like I played some flaky dudes. I
But
played Theo Johnson a lot.
listen, man.
I played a
But
lot of
again,
him.
I think Theo Johnson was a better play than Chalk Hunter Henry.
I also played Tyler Higbee, which
But
look, I don't think I need to explain to the viewers the theory behind Tyler Higbee. Like you should be able to get it. Like, but if he catches a touchdown, he's taking it from these other popular dudes. If he catches 2 touchdowns, like you fall off your bar stool. Like
yeah.
so.
But yeah, man. Like the other thing I'll say, like so Chalk Hunter Henry is gross,
Yes.
right? But
Yes.
I will say he didn't project. He didn't project like this as far as ownership.
Yeah.
And this is one of my issues with ownership projections right now. If you were running Sims or spamming optimals, you were getting a ton of Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
And I've talked with, you know, James, our lovely founder, PaydirtDFS.com,
Our
about
fearless
this. And
leader.
like, absolutely. And because I asked him, I was like, do sites incorporate like the results of the sim like into their ownership projections? He was like, highly doubtful. And to me, that's a huge miss.
Yes, it is. And not to promo myself, but like this is something I do with NHL ownership
Yep.
is I look at this stuff and I look at what sims really well using multiple models.
Yep.
And if there's somebody that pops up everywhere, like there were a couple of dudes tonight that like popped up everywhere. Like those are the dudes that like they're going to be popular.
Right. And that was the case with Hunter Henry. Because so to be transparent, I had some interest in Hunter Henry when I thought he was going to be like in this between sub 10%. I was like, all right, he's cheap enough that like it should be a good game environment. Right. But then when I started seeing him pop up in everything I was running, I was like, he's going to be like double this ownership at least.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, I'm not playing him as chalk.
Yeah. And that was one of my stances this week too, is that I was going to fade the New England passing game. Like I had some Hunter Henry, like just like protect myself, but like I don't know. Like
It's not a passing offense that I'm scared of burying me.
Yeah, and it's also like maybe it's like I've been playing too much NHL, but like the spots that I have like an aversion to
Yep.
are these lower volume players who their ownership is entirely based on the other team is bad.
Yes, I got you.
Like those are just the spots that I like to avoid.
I mean, we talk about this in MLB too, right? When when a
Absolutely.
stack is popular because they're playing, like it's a bad team, but they're popular and going to be chalky because they're playing a bad pitcher.
Yeah.
Or
Like,
vice versa, right? You get like a
yeah.
bad pitcher who's going to be chalk because they're playing the Rockies outside of course, but that pitcher
Yeah.
still sucks.
Yeah. So, like,
Yeah.
yeah, same concept.
Oh, I'm with you. Um, it's interesting to me. One guy that I was heavy on, who actually ended up doing really well, was Juwan Johnson, who like does not
Okay.
show up at all.
Yeah.
But like this is the type of play to me, like and especially like thinking about who's in this contest. If you're playing higher dollar or smaller field contests,
Mm-hmm.
like those are the type of plays to me to set you over the top. Like because he's outscoring Hunter Henry
Yeah.
significantly, and even in the top 1% here, right? Because of the ownership, Henry still showed up in 5% of those lineups that ended up with a top 1% finish.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just due to like basically nobody
Yeah.
playing Juwan Johnson. Like he was 2% owned.
Yeah. And that's I'm theorizing, but like in an event like that, everybody's very sharp.
Yeah.
So they know what the numbers say. And they know that what they say is over a multi-year sample that pairing your cheap tight end with a quarterback and another player, if not two other players, is a highly leveraged and very plus EV stance to take.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously nobody's playing Spencer Rattler.
No, it
Rightfully
was
so.
it was the other guy this week.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Did people play him? No, they did not. But
no, you actually wouldn't
yeah,
have. If you did, you wouldn't have done bad, depending on how
yeah,
the rest of your lineup was.
shuck like the corn. So, yeah, that my guess is he didn't get a lot of ownership because a lot of sims just wouldn't get you there because obviously that's programmed into them.
Yeah. They were going to give you K. Dotton and Hunter Henry and Mark Andrews before they gave you Juwan Johnson.
Or even Dalton Schultz.
Yes. I mean, even with Dalton Schultz, though, like I forgot who did. Somebody in the Discord did it, and shout out to them. They played the Davis Mills stack, and I thought that was actually really sharp.
Yeah. I didn't have enough lineups this weekend to get there because I didn't look at anything until Saturday night.
Yeah. Yeah, I had some Nico Collins, but I didn't have like the full stack because, like, again, I didn't end up getting there.
Yeah, I had a lot of him.
But I loved Schultz as the cheap tight end. I really like Nico Collins, so the stack makes sense. And Jacksonville is trash.
Yeah. I wonder if they're ever really going to get better. At least in the near future. Like I had hope for their defense early on, but like Trevor Lawrence
is the problem.
I think we've gone long enough. I think we can say Trevor Lawrence is a bust.
Yes.
Okay. Like the hype on him coming out was that he was the next Andrew Luck. maybe I'm remembering wrong. Correct me, but like
No,
that he was a
I
super
remember
prospect.
the word generational talent got tossed around a lot.
Yes, and he's had a pretty long leash because I think it was his rookie year. Like he had Urban Meyer, so like that's just a wash.
Yeah, I don't. We throw that one out. That's fair. Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, but now we're at the point. It's he had that comeback against the Chargers. Great, that was a phenomenal game, and I with all my heart I congratulate him. But like, I just haven't seen anything to make me believe that Trevor Lawrence can, lead a good team on a playoff run.
Yeah. I'm with you.
So,
just to wrap things up, just looking back at just the overall exposures from last week. Um, a couple of things that just call out I think we can carry forward with us. Zay Flowers chalk, like, these don't be afraid to fade the shaky chalk. Shaky in that, they really haven't shown the ceiling. I think even on the Slate Talk, well, with James and Scott Barrett was the guest on this week. I remember Scott saying like has Zay Flowers like ever had like that type of ceiling game where you didn't play him and you were like, damn, he nuked.
a couple times.
A couple, like maybe like 2 or 3 times in his career.
Yeah.
But like nothing to the point where I am afraid of. And then just Brown's defense here is like just don't play chalk defense. And I know this is another one where I can tell you obviously they did not project to be this high anywhere. But this is one of those things when you start running sims, when you start running optimals, pay attention to which defenses they're jamming in. And if you see that you're getting a bunch of like this defense, like just know that defense is almost assuredly going to be chalk.
Yes. And somebody like James, would be able to give a firm number, but I mean, I would suggest that people like look at what sharp players are doing.
Yep.
And set a cap on your defenses.
Yep. And we actually can do that in the contest analyzer if we want to take a look at who's up in here.
I mean, but defenses really don't matter. So like,
no.
I don't know how many people like really actually care.
I mean, hell, I don't care. Like I played the Dolphins defense because they were minimum price and allowed me to fit whatever, and I didn't have to worry about like, who do we want to look at? You have a favorite sharp you want to look at?
No, not. In this format, I'm kind of like a little bit out of my water. I usually look at Utica.
I'm sure
because he's like the old it's been around forever.
OG.
Gold standard.
He's also one of the few OGs who's still playing like all contest types. Like some of them are like only playing super small, super high dollar stuff because like they frankly like would get killed if they tried to like play, MME huge field contests in 2025. But I respect you to Cal for he's still dominating like across the board.
I still think he's top 3 if not the best player in the world as far as an overall DFS player.
Yeah. All right, so this just taking a look at Utica and exposures comparison. Rico Dowdle came in underweight, but not by much, right? Rico Dowdle came in at 51. He had 44%. Rico Dowdle. He came in underweight on Achan.
Okay.
Overweight on Puka.
Mm-hmm.
Overweight on Jiggy. Overweight on Zay Flowers.
Okay.
Massively underweight on Jawan Jennings. Fading chalk defense. Absolutely fade chalk defense. Basically, even with the field on McCaffrey, even with the field on Amon-Ra St. Brown, massively overweight on Travion Henderson, slightly overweight on McBride, overweight on Hunter Henry, At the field with Tez Johnson. Jaguars with the other defense that Sims were pushing. 16% overall. He had 12. That was probably one where like you more or less like, fine. If I end up with them, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Like, essentially faded Judkins. At the field with James Cook. Overweight on Mark Andrews. Under on Igbuka.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yep. So, some stuff there. Again, like this is a certified pro, certified profitable dude. Like, been in these DFS streets, winning for a long time. And there's stuff here like don't beat yourself up. Like a guy that we didn't mention any of his exposure to, we can even sort by his exposure. Like how much Gibbs did he have? None. Don't beat yourself up for not playing Jahmyr Gibbs, right?
Oh, yeah, don't beat yourself up for not playing 8K Jahmyr Gibbs with a healthy Lions offense. Like,
right.
He killed you. Like,
don't feel bad. No, you're not a super fish chalk donkey for playing Rico Dowdle. It's fine. Right.
No, and something I want to point out when you look at this stuff, because I look at this stuff all the time, is that when you see somebody that's like anything less than like 10 points within the field on like a high owned guy, like if they're like 45% and like they came in at 55%, like I usually look at it as like, okay, they were trying to be even with the field.
Yeah.
So I guess I just wanted to mention that because, that 10% or less, like I would encourage people to be careful and not necessarily read too much into that once it gets to the higher numbers anyway.
Right. Whereas opposed to like George Kittle, like this is taking a stand. Like you were trying to be like double the field on George.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Once you get to the lower numbers, if you're like 1.3 times or 1.5 times or something like that, like, yeah, then that's meaningful. So,
yeah. So, guys,
was he under Khalil? Was he under Khalil Shakir? Oh, big shock.
Nah, he was massively over. He was overweight on the Bills.
Really?
Like that was his thing. Yeah.
Okay, so he did the Josh Allen thing. All right.
Josh Allen with Shakir. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I understood playing like Josh Allen with Shakir and Kincaid and stuff, whatever. Like, I personally would have preferred like Josh Allen and 3 guys. To be honest.
Yeah. Some of these overweight stands are interesting. Like Dalton Schultz took a big stand being overweight. Kenneth Walker being overweight. He was overweight.
Okay.
For the most part on like some of the spend-up quarterbacks.
Okay.
Oh, your boy Diggs, double the field on Diggs.
Okay. No. All right. I mean, these ultra sharp guys, like they know the ownership in these things. And like, it's not what I study. So like, the stands they take, I'm in no way am I qualified to be in anything close to critical. So,
yeah. I mean, the other thing too, like just looking at this, like there's a lot of players here, like not a lot of these players are surprises, right? In terms of ownership, in terms of when we were building, you start building for the week, you start looking at ownership, you start building out optimals, you start looking at sims. Like we knew Puka, JSN, like, yeah, like those are good spend-up guys.
Yeah.
Right? Rico Dowdle we knew was, gonna be chalk, was in a good spot. Zay Flowers we knew was chalk. Like all of these guys were guys we expected to be owned and guys we expected to see in a lot of builds. And again, sharp players, pro players, play those guys, right? You don't need to sit here and try and find like these unicorn plays. Like you don't need to be out here. I think this wide receiver 2 from the Browns is going to be the guy. Like Cedric Tillman's in a good spot this week because I looked at the cornerback matchup and the way, like, stop, get some help.
Yeah,
like
It's
you don't need to do all that, right? Like, I mean, if we look at everybody that um, let's take everybody that was double digit exposure that he had exposure to, right? Maybe the craziest play would be Jerry Judy at
uh
12%. But even that, like,
uh I was I was getting quite a bit of him
yeah,
in my Sims.
right. But if you want to say like something that was like, oh, like I didn't hear a lot of talk about, like every other person on this list you heard talk about. If you listened to anything, if you read any content, like you saw these guys, you saw Kate Otten, Kyron Williams, Juwan Jennings, Jameson, the Lions, the Bucks, Devo Samuel. Like we saw all these guys mentioned. You heard all of these guys mentioned everywhere. Like nobody that was significantly owned in his player pool is somebody just completely off the board.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say, don't be afraid to just play good plays and really concentrate on like your roster construction and how you're building your lineups and which stands you're taking. But don't go sitting here trying to find dart throws.
Well, yeah, and just as a final thought, and I'll wrap this all in a nutshell. I mean, if you belong to our site or you're in our Discord, you hear James talk about it all the time. Like, the pricing sucks. It sucks. So these plays that are high owned, you really don't need or even necessarily want to take huge stands on them in many cases.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just not going to be profitable enough. Like, it's these guys that are whatever, that tier down below, that you can really create leverage on.
Right.
Like Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers is where you get your leverage. Hunter Henry was where you get your leverage. You didn't need to try and get leverage on JSN.
A-Chan.
A-Chan, yeah.
So.
All right. So that has been a Week 10 recap. Just a look ahead at this week. We got the bakery coming up on Thursday. We got Slate Talk with James and Pablo. Perhaps another special guest. We'll see on Saturday. Throughout the week, you got the newsletter, the breadcrumbs coming out. And also, if you are not in the hockey streets, you need to get over there. The articles from, this lovely human right here have been just absolute fire. So get over there. It's much better experience than NBA where random Trenton Watford or whatever the hell is going off for 60 fantasy points at 4K. It's disgusting.
Did Cade Cunningham have 100 fantasy points or something like that?
96. 96. Wow. 96
shooting?
Fantasy points while missing 30 real life shots.
I'm trying to remember who did that a few years ago. Like, it was something. I think it was probably James Harden or somebody like that did it.
I think the last 100-point game we got was Luka. But there was a season where James Harden did it like multiple times.
Yeah, I mean,
that makes sense. Like I guess I don't know. Cade Cunningham shooting 14 for 45, but like going like to the free throw line 18 times or something stupid. Like, so that being said, come hang out with us for Sunday NFL. The pricing sucks, but things make sense. And get in
the game is still fun, but yeah, the pricing has been a lot better. Like,
oh man. All right, y'all. Take it easy. Peace.